Hello everyone, I'm Gina.
And I'm Irina.
And welcome to our talk show with the beautiful name Aftershot.
We're really excited to be your host for tonight for our first and final episode of the show. Right here, right now.
Because we are live today in the Media Lab.
And today we invited our wonderful guests for the talk show.
Yeah, of course we did.
So those who love clubbing, those who love Groningen, and those who love clubbing in Groningen, please welcome.
We have a lot to discuss with you today.
Hello everyone. Hello Rose. Hello Alex. Hello Jan and Alona.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for finding the time in your busy schedule to join us today. And about the busy schedule, maybe everyone could talk a little bit about themselves and tell us what you do in your daily life and maybe also what you do in your nightlife. So maybe Alex, you can start.
Okay, so I'm a student here in Groningen. I study international communication at the HANZE. And right now I'm pretty busy with learning because we have an exam next week. Yeah, but I'm glad to be here. So yeah, and about nightlife, yeah, I usually just go to the same clubs, I think. And I haven't tried out many clubs yet, but there's some that are definitely still on my list.
Yeah, maybe we can inspire you today,
Maybe,
and
yeah.
then we find
So
out
explore.
more
Maybe,
things.
yeah.
Nice. Maybe Rose, you can.
Yeah,
go
sure.
on.
Yes, I'm also a student here in Groningen. I'm currently doing a board year on the Student Association. And I think the best detailed description of what my function is within the board is like I'm like the owner of our building, of our, like the bar and everything. So I think that's also the reason why I'm invited here.
Yes.
So every night is different, but every night I'm out there.
Nice. Yeah, and then Jan.
Well, yeah, I'm Jan. I've been studying in Groningen for 5 years. I'm currently in my 4th year of international communication and work in Berlin for a company called We Are Era in PR and talent management. And nightlife, I basically do everything that is revolving around techno. The other clubs I did in my first week, but ever since you have never seen me back in those locations.
Techno only then.
Techno only.
Nice.
But 5 years is a lot. You're definitely like almost local here. So
I'm
you know
almost
everything
local.
about Groningen.
A lot.
Perfect. Great team member then. And Alona.
Yeah, I'm also a student here. I study European and International Law, and yeah, nightlife-wise, I bartend at Copas and Jams because it's the same owner, so you work a bit at both, and I go clubbing a lot, so definitely have some experience.
Perfect.
That's great. You're all definitely a big part of the nightlife in Groningen. That's for sure.
Yes, and we're gonna test that with a little game in a second. But first, I would like to ask you to rate yourself from 1 to 10 on how well you actually know the nightlife. So just one number per person on how well you think you know the clubbing scene here in the city.
I think I would give myself a 6.
Solid number.
Yeah.
I think I'm going for a safe 7.
Nice. And Jan?
I don't know, it's quite a lot of pressure because, as I said, I didn't go to many clubs, but I would say I would give myself an 8.
Just
Okay.
going off.
Yeah.
So for you.
I'm gonna stick to. And the thing is, I go clubbing, but I go to the same places,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say a 7.
All right.
So on average we have like 7 for all of you. So let's test it with our little game. And first Gina will explain the rules and we're gonna start playing.
Yes. So the rules are quite simple. 2 teams, Jan and Alona, and Alex and Rose. And we will watch short videos where people in Groningen describe clubs in Groningen. And after each video, you have to guess the name of the club. And we prepared some noisemakers.
Nice.
Yes, some beautiful
Exactly.
noisemakers. We hope we figure out how to use them.
Do you want?
Yes, sure. Don't mess this
I don't know
up.
if that
You can do it, but don't mess
You
it
can
up.
just try it.
I
Perfect.
think it works.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great.
You did great.
Yeah, so after each video, you can make your guess. If your guess is correct, the losing team, the other team, has to drink a disgusting shot as a punishment. If your guess is incorrect, the other team has time to make their guess If that one is correct, you drink. If their guess is also incorrect, all of you drink. No worries, there's no alcohol in the shots. They're just a little bit disgusting.
But they would better be alcoholic because they're really disgusting.
Yes.
Sorry for that. So you better not lose. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Don't mess
And
it up.
we will play 5 rounds in total, and afterwards we're gonna announce the winner.
Yeah,
Of the
Is
game.
everything clear to you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Then we're gonna start.
Let's watch the first video.
It's gonna be singing, entertaining.
Singing. The nice. Everybody knows the songs most of the time. Yeah, because there's like a big screen, of course.
So if you know the name,
I
make the
just
noise.
called. Yo, Jan.
What's your
Sorry.
guess?
We're guessing the karaoke bar.
Woo! Correct.
Jan, I said it. I said
I
that.
wasn't sure
Yeah.
if that was a name.
You did it first.
Great. So now it's time for the first punishment shot.
I literally, can I say, I said the karaoke bar.
Yeah.
He just didn't do the
I
thing.
didn't squeak it. I was so
sorry.
afraid.
Collaboration. You have
This
to
is-
practice a bit more.
Oh,
Yes.
well,
Cheers for you.
cheers.
Want to
Cheers.
shop with them?
Oh,
No.
take me out.
Okay.
Oh, it's nice, a ginger.
Yeah. Ooh.
Disgusting. Nice.
Well, if you like ginger,
I
then
love
guess
ginger.
Oh, what?
Good for you. Not so good for
I
the
would lose
other
bad,
every.
but-
I
your
would
team.
lose every round. on
Oh,
purpose.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
But who said that the next one is also ginger?
Oh,
No
don't
one
mess
said
this
that.
up again.
It's a surprise all the time. Well,
Okay.
first
Yeah,
point
no.
goes to the two of you, and then let's go to the next video.
Alright, this is.
It'd be crowded, very crowded.
Spacious. Big. Well, for me that would be high school parties, but that's also again, yeah, because I grew up here. I used to have all my high school parties there. So
Levels.
Yes.
What is this?
That
I
was
think
quick.
this one's Palace.
That's correct.
See?
Very good,
Wow.
very good.
When I have to do that, it works.
You're getting there.
So now it's time for you to drink the punishment shot.
You're not that bad.
Was good.
This one is looking
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
It's pretty sour.
Yeah.
Oh, lemon?
I can imagine
Lemon.
lemon.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Not
feel
that
free
bad.
to drink something.
Remember getting this?
Nice, nice. How did
Okay.
you know it was Palace? What was the...
Especially when he said levels, because
Mm.
clubs here aren't really clubs as they are in like other places. Like they're just small bars with like a bit of space to dance. And Palace is, I think, one of the only proper clubs. Like, yeah.
From
Yeah.
you was high school parties. They were pretty good
Why?
away.
Why Palace in high school?
Well, because those were the parties I went to when I was in high school.
Oh.
So for me, that's a giveaway.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Honestly, I don't think I would have gotten that one right. But luckily, I don't have to play. But all right, let's move to the third round then.
Dancing. A lot of good dance music. So yeah, dancing.
Original.
It's like a significant garbage dump in like a very big place, but it's so centered that you wouldn't even notice it.
Cheap.
True.
Social. Everyone's welcome and everyone's so kind to each other.
Techno.
Garbage, social, everyone is kind to each other. Kind of a nice combination.
Yes.
I'm triggered by the garbage part of that.
So what do you think it
I
is?
think we think it's Oost.
That's correct, that's
We
correct.
got this.
Wow,
Yes,
very
we're good.
good.
We got this.
So I'm very sorry,
Thank you.
but
Oh my
it's
God,
your
thank
time.
you.
Maybe it's
To take
strawberry,
another
you know,
one.
maybe it's not, but it looks like strawberry.
It's Mexican.
Cheers.
That would be so funny.
Woo! Was it
Oh.
good?
Oh no,
Of course it
no.
was.
Yeah, drink something.
What is this?
I thought it was better than the previous
I
one.
like the last one. I like the last one more.
Well,
So you're triggered by the
Yes, garbage.
comment?
Definitely
yes.
not.
So maybe you would like to say something nice about Oost? What's your?
Well, yeah, I think Oost is like one of the biggest starting points for anyone who wants to go to the techno scene because it's just so open, so welcoming. A lot of internationals go there, and for me it was one of the places where I met like super many friends. And yeah, for me it's one of the best and most original techno places coming from Berlin that I have ever visited.
Nice, very nice to hear.
And also in general, there's not many like techno clubs in Groningen, so Oost is definitely a good place to go for that.
Yeah, I mean, especially because Paradigm is so far away, like the other techno club here. It's nice that it's so centered in the city. I feel like the first time I went there, I walked past it because I didn't see the door. But yeah. Yeah. All right, we have 2 more rounds. And so far it's pretty good. It's looking pretty good for Jan and Elena.
Come on.
But I think you have some time to catch up. So let's move to the next round.
Latinos locos.
Affordable. Yeah.
Salsa.
Espanol.
Oh, you were first.
Fuck man.
Is it the Espanol part or?
Yeah, we think it's copas.
That's correct.
Of course.
Yes.
Oh,
man, I worked there. This is sad. Yeah, that's true. That was not a very difficult one, but good for you. And then it's time
not
for
that
you.
good for you.
Wait.
Oh.
These look small. That means they're gonna be gross, Benny.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh, what was that?
Was that vinegar?
Almost, yes. Okay, you're playing very cool.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
That was disgusting.
Drink something.
Okay, well.
Yes, but it was an easy round, so the punishment has to be a bit more.
I work there
So
and
we
I
have
didn't get this one like that.
Maybe you should reconsider.
But no.
So we have 1 more to go, and so far we're equal.
Oh.
Let's find out who's going to be the winner of tonight's quiz.
This is the first time actually I come to it, but I really like it. Yeah.
One word. Oh, yeah, pauper? Nah, I would say cheap. It's like you have the cheap shots for €1. Before you go out to all the other clubs, you can start to get some cheap shots and then go further on with the night.
I would say full.
Dynamic, because yeah, I know it's dynamic. It's most of the time it's very busy and it's nice and like a lot of different people and like a lot of cocktails and just very happy and a nice surrounding.
Oh. So what's that fantabulous?
I think, we think it's Sunny Beach.
That's correct.
Wow.
Nice. Very good. Well done. Really. Yes. So it's time for the final punishment shot.
Oh, you can choose.
Yes.
Oh,
you can choose for the last
vinegar.
one. All your
Oh my God,
options.
no.
Oh,
That's basically what you got inside.
Oh,
brave.
you're so
Brave.
brave.
Oh, why would you?
Well,
Ooh.
cheers.
Dude, don't do it. Why did you do that?
Yeah.
But
Why would you voluntarily?
I wanted to taste it.
Do you regret it?
Yeah.
well,
definitely.
dress some decisions in life that we're gonna regret.
Yeah.
That's fine. Let's hope they like it. So now it's clear that the team on top now is going to get better than the team of. I don't want to say that you're not on top, but just.
Yeah. Oh, we got the applause. Yes. So congrats.
Yes.
And yeah, now we know that the Groningen's clubbing scene is diverse, and there's something out there in our city for everyone. So if you like Spanish music, you can go to Copas. If you like techno, you can go to Os. So yeah, we talked a lot about that now.
And thank you so much for playing with us. And we hope that shirts were not too bad. Otherwise, really sorry, but it was nice to see your disgusted face.
That's
I
very
hate
true.
myself for saying that.
That's the truth. Yeah, and now that we've discovered the clubbing scene a bit more, we would like to talk more about the meaning of clubbing.
Yes, and this is what we are going to find out in our next section. We're going to ask you about which meaning do you actually put to clubbing, what it means to you personally.
Yeah, so we asked the people in Groningen, in the streets of Groningen, to talk a little bit about the meaning of clubbing, and now we're going to have a look at what they had to say. Let's see.
Well, it's kind of a way to let go of stress and everything and just have fun, dance, those kind of things.
A lot, basically a lot. It's a way to get everything out of you, like all the bad stuff. And here it's perfect to do it.
Getting fucked.
Me, it means freedom, having a lot of fun, uh, new experiences, and just making the most out of life, I think.
Yeah, so now once we watch the videos, people usually like clubbing because they can hang out with friends, can get some rest, can get some other word that we all heard. So a lot of things. And how did you guys like the videos? Can you relate to something that was said?
Definitely the work one.
Oh.
Yeah, like most times when I don't go out so much recently just because I've been working more, but even when I work it feels like I'm going out because I still get to listen to the music, I still get to and my friends often go out to Copas, so it kind of works because then, well, I'm getting paid while I still get to enjoy my time.
Wow.
And
That's actually a perfect combination. I'm really jealous. So you just work and you hang out.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So for you, so for you, it's more that when you work, you feel like going out, and not so much that when you go out, you feel like work.
Definitely. Like my work is a very relaxed job, but also that's why I like the work because everything else in my life is more studying this. So it is nice to have like a job that it's like you really don't have to put much thought into it. You can just have a fun time, relax, and
Yeah, I can imagine.
The sleep schedule doesn't really relax. But like, okay.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you can relate to the
yeah, I
sleeping
can
schedule?
relate. I can definitely relate to the sleeping schedule.
Yeah, I think.
But we'll manage.
But what's clubbing for you personally?
Yeah, I think mostly the same of what's already been said. And
what exactly? Which part exactly?
well, for me right now is I think it's a bit of a combination between work and having fun. Because I'm doing a board year, I know everything about our bar and about the building. So even when I'm not there, if something goes wrong, I get a call like, "Hey, can you come over?" So sometimes it can happen that I have a normal sleeping schedule, but then I get even wake up call in the middle of the night. I don't get that often, so that's fine. But yeah. And if I don't have to be there to, I don't know, to work kind of thing, I can also go there with friends and have fun as well. So that's pretty great.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And Alex, how is it for you?
Yeah, as a student, I should be working during the week, so I'm stressed during the week. So on the weekends I can relieve that stress a little bit with dancing, I feel like, and loud music. So yeah, but you meet new people, which is nice. You go with your friends to have a good time, and with a certain amount of alcohol, it's fun.
Just the right amount.
Yeah, not too much, yeah.
And Jan, how is it for you?
Well, for me, it's basically everything. My friends call me life of the party, and I love going out. I love meeting new people. I love the way that, especially as in Groningen, for me in the techno environment, it's just so easy to get to know new people. You just go up to people and talk to them, and I just love everything about that. To what Alex just said, for me, I mean, I've been studying here for 5 years, and I had the majority of my parties were during the week. And also on the weekend. But once you work full-time, that changes completely because you don't have the energy and the time anymore. So as a student, I really enjoyed my life here, maybe sometimes too much, but that's how it is. I mean, it's just a lot of fun.
So I guess we as students can learn something from that and just go out during the week as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. But also, Alex, you mentioned that you usually go to the same clubs, but which clubs do you go to?
Actually, Copas.
Really?
Yeah, but it depends on with I'm out in that night, because sometimes I go to Warhol. I end up there because they are open very late, I think. I do not enjoy the music too much, but yeah, with the right company, it's okay, I guess. I've been to Oost actually only once. Because I'm
you're gonna change this.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. Because usually I'm not into techno, but I tried Oost because you said it's good for beginners that just want to try techno, and I had a great time. Yeah, but Copas, Warhol, Jams recently. It's a very small place, but they play. Jams.
Yeah, let's work there.
They play good music, and with friends, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so for you it's all about like the company?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference, I think.
So can the other ones relate, or would you disagree?
I mean, back to what he was saying, as much as obviously it is fun to go out with friends, I really do think clubbing in Groningen is perfect for meeting new people. Like, okay, maybe sometimes a bit drunk, you know, oh, hello, but you know, you just, like, most times people are just so friendly and they just want to have a good time with everyone. So then even like in a moment where if I'm going out with one friend and she's gone for a second, it doesn't really matter. I know that, especially at Copas, because obviously I know people a bit more there, like I know I can just turn around and go dance with anyone. So that's just a nice environment.
Yeah.
And I also think, especially Groningen, I mean, it's called the city of talent for a reason. And for me, what I really love is that you have these different collectives that do their stuff. I'm going to name drop some right now. Northern Lights, for example, The Cave, Raya Recordings, Project Umbra, which we've been organizing a lot lately. This also helps to build a community. And I think subculture is something that in today's society gets always pushed away. But I think subcultures grow, make people also grow.
Yeah, for sure. So about Oost being like a good space for beginners, do you think it's also like not only for people who go there to try out techno, a good space, but maybe also for people who like to try out like DJing? Because I know that Raya Recordings recently hosted something at Oost. So is it like also good for them?
Well, it's for me. It used to be a club where I went before like pandemic and stuff a lot. But I think Oost can sometimes be very, very difficult for like beginners for techno, because sometimes they have like really, really difficult music genres, and because techno is sub-layered in so many different genres. So you have to make sure, maybe listen to the DJs beforehand. But if you want to learn, I would always urge people to go to actual collectives and see where they host events. So I know people do it in Kiwi, in Duluth, in HSA, for example. There you can learn more, and it's a bit more intimate. And then afterwards, you've understood the understanding of techno. Then you can always go back to Oost, and then you can enjoy it in a different sense.
Yeah. I feel like our show becomes slowly really educational for newcomers.
Yes.
That's so nice. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Yes. So someone also mentioned freedom in the video. Is that also something that you can like relate to? Because I feel like for me, it's for sure about going out, like feeling free to express myself and dancing in the way I want to. So yeah, like can you relate to that?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
All of us.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, especially after the last 2 years when people weren't going out into like normal clubs, but afterwards you just see people going out with the big smiles on their faces and just enjoying time. And I think that's so amazing to bring people together. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah,
that's really great. And I feel also like Groningen is really welcoming to whoever comes to the city. It's also super international, and this factor actually excites me the most, because sometimes when you go out and you meet like 5 people and all 5 of them are internationals, and like how is it even possible? That's so amazing.
But also with the whole freedom part, especially like even when it comes to what people are wearing, like everyone is so like they don't care and are so non-judgmental. Like you can show up in sweatpants and or a whole like costume, and like literally no one, like they'll look at you maybe, but they won't question it at all. And it's just you can really be free with whatever.
Yeah, true. I feel like here in Groningen, when it comes to meeting new people, it's also nice that everything is so close together, because I feel like in other, maybe even bigger cities, it can sometimes be difficult to walk around in the streets and just meet people there. But I feel like here everything is so centered that it's like quite easy to walk around. But like before moving to Groningen, was it the same? So was everything like centered, or was it more like spaced out? Or did you go out before moving to Groningen?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, for me, it wasn't centered at all. I come from Berlin, 4 million people. It's a complete the opposite to Groningen. I mean, here, how many people live here? 300,000, 250,000? And Berlin is 4 million people, and I already know for work, I travel like 35 minutes just to get to work, and I'm not even like halfway through Berlin. And here I travel 35 minutes, and I don't know where I am. Almost in Amsterdam. But yeah, so Groningen definitely gives you the opportunity to, maybe in the night when you're at home at 12 o'clock, you're like, oh, I'm down to go party. Then you can just go, and like 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, you're in like a club.
Yeah. I actually used to live in an even smaller city, so there was clubbing, and it's Maastricht, so it is a student city as well, but the way the city is like built here, like with the ring of the water, it's literally, that is the city center. And in Maastricht it was more so, like there was the city, but it was spread out across like the bridge, like, 2 sides of the city, and then the suburbs kind of like in the city, so it wasn't really, with Groningen it's definitely super centered, and that's super nice. Like you can just, that's also when going clubbing, you don't have to like choose a place to go to. You're just like, okay, let's go and we'll figure it out, because, well, everything's right there.
Yeah.
Exactly. And how it is for you, Alex, since you're like the second year student? Have you had experience of partying before or not?
Yes, I come from Freiburg, which is also like the same size as Groningen. We have like the same amount of citizens, but it's also a student city actually in Germany, but there's, I don't know, maybe like 6 clubs where you go to, and here in Groningen, you in La Poelestraat, you have like 10 next to each other, so that's completely different. And what I realized is when I go out in Germany, in Freiburg, I'm in the city at 11 and in the club by 11:30, I think. And here in Groningen, it gets crowded at 1 in the clubs, and you're still not too late if you're there at 3. So yeah, it's normal to get home at 6.
Of bartending.
Yeah, exactly. So I can also relate to the sleeping schedule, even though I don't work. But
we work as well, but we don't get paid.
Yeah.
You go out and suffer the sleep schedule. At least I get paid.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, like thank you for sharing all of the stories and experiences. It was really nice to hear like what clubbing means to you, since this is basically the topic of our night.
Yeah, and your diverse stories and your diverse perspectives really showed us how different the opinions on clubbing can be. And in our next section, we'd like to discuss a bit more about what is your perfect night scenario.
Exactly, because when going out, it's important to make sure that it's a great experience. So yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about next.
And now, honestly, we've arrived to my favorite part of the talk show, and this is deep conversations. Honestly, like, for me, this aspect is what makes my night perfect, because I just love spending time with people and getting to know them more. And now, if we think about Groningen specifically, what could make your night here perfect?
Actually, I have something to share for this one as well, because for me, honestly, it's FIBO. Like, it sounds basic, but it is what it is. Like, after dancing all night, and especially if you like really dance all night, I get hungry. I don't know about you, but I do get hungry. So afterwards, going to FIBO and getting a snack, like meeting people there, because literally everyone's there all the time, and just meeting people that you've seen in different clubs throughout the night is such an important part for me. So even if I go to Paradigm, I make sure to go to the city center and get FIBO and then go home.
Yeah, I feel like FIBO is definitely an important part of everyone's nightlife in Groningen, because it's such a thing here. And yeah, I don't know if it's a thing in other cities as well.
I asked around because I thought it was normal because, well, I'm from here, like I know, so I thought it was normal. And then I asked around and everyone's like, no, we don't pay for food from a wall. Like, no, that's not a thing. But I'm just so, like, why not? It's so smart, it's cheap, and it's
so
smart.
Yeah, but what other things like make a night perfect for you when it comes to like places to go to, people to go with, maybe like outfits to wear or stuff like that?
Well, I think especially since Groningen is like a very student-centered city, a lot of associations, for speaking from the association board, we have a lot of different theme parties with people wearing funny clothes, and I think that if you would walk around in like a giraffe onesie or something, if you would walk around like that in Groningen, nobody would look weird. Everybody would say, oh, it's just another student. But if you go to any other city and you would walk around, everybody would probably look at you like, what are you doing? And I think that makes Groningen, especially for me, very nice.
Sometimes I cycle from the uni and it's really late and it's like Thursday or Friday and I see people wearing these costumes and I'm just like so jealous. Like people are having like the best time of their lives and I'm just cycling home.
Yes. I've never been to a theme party like that, I think.
But thanks to Groningen, I've seen how they look. And that's amazing.
What was your favorite like theme party?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I think it's not really a general theme, but I think it started around with a TikTok trend, maybe. But we organized a party where you have to dress with something with the first letter of your name. So I was like Rainbow Rose, I wore like a rainbow dress, and everybody was like Pilot Peter or something, and then everybody,
I actually did that for my birthday. I forgot about that. Yeah, I dressed up as the Grinch. So I had like green makeup, green everything. Yes, I hosted one, but I've never been to a different one. So what makes it a perfect night for you here in Groningen?
Well, for me there's two types of perfect nights. And one is like completely planned. Like, for example, I would say a friends collective of mine, they organize an event, probably Duluth. I think it's a very nice location. Yeah. First you start outdoor, then you go indoors. You have like a really insane, it's all in my head. You have like a really good sound system and you just are there with your friends and just enjoy it. Or the other one, which also Groningen gives you the opportunity, is those completely random nights that nothing are planned. You just go to a bar, have like 2 pints, and then you look at each other and you're like, yeah, okay, now what? And then you just go through the city and just end up at, I don't know, Warhol at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, the heck am I doing here? But you're still having a great fun. That's also a really, really nice night.
Yeah, I can see you nodding.
Yeah, definitely. I can totally relate to that. What I also like is pre-drinking, because that usually starts at someone's place, and I feel like because there's usually more quieter, so you can still have conversations, and if it's a gathering where new people are there that you don't know, you can have nice conversations with, and then you go to the city at 1 or 2. So I think pre-drinking is important.
That sounds really good. So you get to know each other, and then like the whole company go to the club.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like especially here in Groningen, if you do pre's at someone's place, you usually like cycle together.
Yeah.
And I feel like depending on the amount of pre's you did, that can also be a bonding experience for sure.
Those bike rides. the accidents that have been caused.
Yeah.
You want to share some stories here?
It wasn't even so bad. It was just, and I wasn't even that drunk. Like I swear, like I know it's gonna sound like I was, but I really wasn't. But it was just okay. I was on my phone, which is really bad. But I was biking into a parking lot, and I didn't see there was like that thing where to stop the cars from going through, and I fully just like biked into it,
Shit.
and then to the side just fell. But I was drunk enough that it didn't hurt in the moment. So it was.
So the important question is, did you go out afterwards, or did you?
Oh yeah. It was at a, like a student accommodation house party. So I just went to the parking lot, kept partying. I went for it.
Classic.
So your perfect night scenario wouldn't contain
that was
drunk biking.
I mean, in the moment, I really was like, "Oh, this is funny," but like the next day, it hurt. There was a big bruise.
Oh my gosh! I love when people sometimes are just like, "Oh, this is funny." I had a friend; she was really, really tipsy. Not like really, really drunk, but tipsy. And she found it really fun to fall off her bike.
Oh wow!
And I was just like, "No, please stop! Stop doing that because for me it's not fun." But she had fun. That's the most important thing.
But also, like when my friend, like when she fell and she was laughing, and I just was like, I remember thinking, I was like, she's gonna like be in so much pain tomorrow. But like if she's just laughing right now, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But no, definitely would avoid that for a perfect night out.
Of course.
I don't know. For me, actually, just having. Also like a fun but also like a safe night out, just knowing that it's nice like that I work at Copas. I know it's usually like always safe to go partying there. I don't have to worry like if there's anything ever wrong, I can just go to one of the bartenders. And I think in Groningen, there are situations where it's not necessarily always super safe, but in general I do think it's quite a safe city to go clubbing in, and that's never a concern, so that's nice to have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, safety while going out is like a really important thing to have. Yeah. And I had something else on my mind. But I forgot. I guess it wasn't that important.
Maybe.
Yeah. But now all of you shared something. Maybe Irina, you also have something to share about this one.
Perfect night. Well, my perfect night in Groningen, I would say house parties, especially on the rooftops with a beautiful view. I've never had that in my life before anywhere in the earth. So I really enjoy house parties. You can also like watch the sunset, talk to someone, and talking part, as I've already mentioned, is my like favorite one. So I could go on forever, and even now, if no one will stop me, I will describe the whole scenario of my life. So please stop me.
When Irina mentioned house parties, you started nodding again. So I feel like there's some things to share here as well.
I like at clubs that the music is really, really loud and you just dance and don't care about anything else. But also house parties is one of my favorite things to do. We had one friend, he hosted parties, but then at one night I think police showed up, and since then we can't do it anymore. And now house parties got a little bit more rare, and but that's one of my favorite things actually. Yeah, house parties.
I think I have house parties every week.
Yeah.
Not at my place. Not at my place. My neighbors already hate me, so but at friends' places definitely.
I feel like house parties here are kind of difficult if you have a house, which is like pretty common here, that is very narrow and it has a lot of staircases. I'm always like, all the stairs.
No, definitely like house parties in one of those typical houses. It's so awkward because you end up walking to like someone's close to someone's bedroom, and it's like but there's no other place to be. So it's just I mean, I enjoy house parties, but which happens rarely, but when the house is like big enough, which unfortunately.
Or the roof, because I actually
the
feel like
roof.
there are a lot of people with the roofs, but they never use them, and they just look like, wow, that's a perfect place for the party. When I'm at the UB, for example, and I have the overview on the whole city, this is the perfect place for the party. This is awesome. Can I please go there?
I also actually live on the 5th floor, so I can see like people have like the roofs with like couches, whatever, but I never see anyone use them. And it's like, especially today, it's such nice weather outside, but like I didn't see anyone. I'm like, why, if you have a rooftop, use it.
Of course. How can you
it's a crime not to use it?
Of course.
Yeah, but I feel like Irina, you could go on and talk about your movie scenario and your perfect night all night long. But I think our time is coming to an end, unfortunately, and I feel like it's almost the night soon, and I'm sure we all have plans for later.
Yeah, that's a good
So, yeah.
point. So I think that's the perfect time to wrap up. And thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yes, and today we talked about our clubs and our city here, and we talked about the meaning of clubbing and also what makes it the perfect night for the people here. So yeah, thanks for
And
joining.
we really hope that we inspired all of you to explore the Groningen nightlife more, and maybe see you tonight in some of the Groningen
Yes.
clubs.
Have a great time, and thanks for tuning in tonight.
Yay.